prove that he's bad. We can show the world. And he just didn't come this way.
Right.
That's fine.
You have Senor Super Dan,
Yes.
my buddy,
And
my teammate.
Do you know of Vlad?
No, but I did just realize Dan told me to watch his stuff, and I'm definitely going to hear a commentary instead.
Alright, so a lot of what Dan is seeking to do. Usually, I mean, most of the time when he,
That's the Dan. Don't double jump off stage back on. He'll get it every time.
yeah, Dan's aerial mobility and just his presence in the air is always so threatening. I don't know. I feel like Zelda in this matchup is actually pretty terrible.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of options coming down. And Dan's really good at juggling to the point where, like, sometimes when he really gets in on you, it feels like you're being juggled by a swordie, even though it's just stubby little Mario. But
Yeah.
Dan really goes in and stretches it far.
What is Mario, like 3'7"?
I don't know, but it's kind of tragic.
It is, yeah. Princess Peach has got like a whole 1.5 on it. Forward throw off stage. So like, okay. A lot of what Dan has been doing so far is just basically well, okay, you got the first stock really quick because of this spike off stage because of the recovery, the bad recovery from Vlad. But Vlad now is just kind of,
Wow, that connected.
misspacing, getting hit by up smash. But a lot of the stuff that Zelda likes to do in general is just sort of like chip damage, and then I would say like risky options like up B. A lot of people like up B a lot.
I don't think her options are risky as much as they are, like, really committal. It's like, that would have killed had it hit, and it would have been, like, decently safe if Dan wasn't expecting it. But also, like, if she goes for fair or back air or up air, it's not, like, super risky, but it's not a good way to see a lot of stocks. It's not how you want to be doing it.
Yeah, a lot of when I see really good Zelda play, a lot of the time it's just really good ledge trapping and edge guards. But
Double bear.
a lot of the time you find when you're facing like a top level player, and you're a character who relies very heavily on making sure that a character can recover back to stage, actually getting someone off stage is pretty much impossible if you're just committing way too often.
Because winning neutral is what you need to do,
Oh, yes.
and characters like Zelda kind of struggle. And especially, another thing Dan was doing that I noticed is that Vlad would go for an aerial, like a back air or something like that, on the ledge, while Dan was holding the ledge, and Dan just waits for him to throw it out. Because if he's holding onto the ledge, forward air, back air can't hit him.
Yeah.
Only down air can hit him. And then he just regularly gets up after that and gets on.
Alright, so last match got off to a relatively fast start with Dan hitting a lot of these like up airs and fairs and airs and stuff like that right into a spike. So
Yeah, and I'm very curious as to why we're on Battlefield. Dan loves this stage, Mario loves this stage, and Zelda, I really don't see what she stands to gain.
the only thing I can think of, and this is like some like next level strat, probably not true, but if you're really confident in your teleport canceling, man, but I mean that's the kind of thing where I don't even know if it's actually useful. Like, teleport canceling is just, it seems like a skill that's just way too niche to ever come into play. But, I mean, hey, man, if you got it down, why not? But you do give Dan a lot of space to continue combos up in the air.
And even like that, back air, typically not very safe. But because you're on a platform, Dan doesn't have to land on it with you, it's safe.
Yeah. Now, immediately, Dan's edge guarding has been pretty decent. Like,
Got the reset. Not gonna kill because he held out.
yeah.
Can't really flood Zelda to his teleport.
Yeah, but that teleport back to mid-stage was really risky because it just has so much end lag that Mario can, even like Mario's speed, he can run up and grab, and it's not an issue.
X smash, nothing.
That,
Do
oh?
it again?
No, he's,
Nah, just back air.
okay. I honestly thought her recovery wasn't good enough to take it back to stage.
Good down smash.
Yeah, that was nice.
Step back to get away from the teleport, and then go in down smash.
This match is it's actually a lot like last game, but it's just with Vlad honestly getting even less chip damage than before.
Yeah, because Dan was ahead when he was up 2 stocks in the first game, but he wasn't this ahead. And like also, the next touch from Dan could deal a ton of damage or even kill. Or it could just be a back air. You really never know.
A couple back airs. Up smash again. Oh, okay. I think Dan was immediately reading him to go back mid-stage, and if he did, that would have been a kill.
I'd like to see Dan just... Never mind. Yeah, you can do, Dan. Do whatever you want. That's fine.
Dan doesn't care.
I stand corrected.
Dan said, "Hey Earl, watch my game." Hit us with two
He mains
perfectly.
Mario. I don't.
Mwah, mwah, forwarders.
All right. You shut me up. That's okay.